Okay, lady, thank you. Yeah, now let's continue to prove why B, why not A. So for letter A, he mentioned that did the underlined prove that a characteristic of his personality regarded as flaw, a mistake in his personality? It is something bad? Yes, he didn't mention that he is being brave or have singular patience or mindfulness. It's something wrong or something bad. So all the answer correct, but this is what make it wrong because it's not supporting the underline or in the passage. We don't have any information to say that this characteristic is something bad or flaw. So A, it does not. You focus on this part only, but you need to catch that it's a flaw. Why B it is correct? Number one, he said it suggests that if not for a certain aspect of his character, Israel might not have been an easily sorted. So thwarted here means to stop someone from continuing his ambitions. It means that Israel here did not stop to achieve his ambitions. He worked hard. He looked for around other means of life. Why? Because he worked for a man and he has a contract that if I worked for you 3 months, you will give me a land. But the person did not give him because there was no law in the country to force him to fulfill. So this is mean he did not stop and that is supported and thwarted. You catch it? He looked again to find the uniform and then continue his ambition. The little bit is correct. And that's why. Feel it?
Yeah.
So this one about the structure, the function, what is or why the writer write this sentence? When write it, it means what is the meaning of that related to the method. For text one and text two, as you know, let's see. Always read the question quickly. How would the author of text two most likely respond to the underlined claim only? Let's read it and find what is the meaning of the underlined and how did this one respond to the underlined only. That means we are going to find information here related to the underlined only. Let's read both of them and take our time, don't worry. Now, what is your answer?
C.
You think it's letter C, while the test maker tell you it must be letter B. Let's prove, but at least you delete two answers. Number one, you said here a questioning, and question like, hey, slow down. Okay, but see here, this is the idea. The idea that shows is stuck in the past. I mean, just like, it's stopped in the past. It has stopped in the past. And he gives you what does the stuck mean. Old-fashioned story and references no longer being produced. So it means stuck in the past. This is two phrases to help me. How the authors here explain this idea? They said it's outdated. It means stuck. If both of them agree about that it is outdated. Because sometimes we ask you, oh, both of them agree about what? About being outdated. But here it said no. How did he respond? How did he explain? How did he reply? Uh, for this is one, a question, of course, wrong as you did. By agreeing that contemporary audiences, Kyrus is the second one didn't mention audiences at all, and underline didn't mention anything about audience or lookers or watchers or anyone. Both of them not mentioned. But that means we give you idea. It's not mentioned in the underlined. How the writer will respond to something not mentioned. This means B is wrong because no mention or no indications in the underline. And of course, there is no any doubt or reservations or uncertainty or he's not sure. So not support. Now about C and D. You said it to C by pointing out most dance companies could increase their income by offering modernized versions. Yes, it's great, but that is not related to the underlined. The underlined explain that how in the past they get their income, how could we increase it, or he said that it was no longer produced and no reference and it was old fashioned. So you give me Malak idea mentioned in two, but not related to the underlined. You see it? يبقى we need response to a specific point. The response must be similar or related to the underlined only. That C not related to the question or does not mention the focus of the question itself. But why D correct? He said here dance companies should consider revised version. So revised versions of what? Of this, not correct word. Instead of rejecting the show, offering revised version, which means should revise it again and make it modern. Do you feel it? As I said here, it should be kept because it's a holiday favorite and companies can get information. It's all right. Feel it? That's one. You should revise your version. You just like to make it more modern, more to to reach out the contemporary or modern purposes. So purpose just like purpose for income, purpose for dance, for holidays, could be. That's one. And then at this moment, it has been gaining popularity since it opened again. So it tells them, please revise it again, make it modern, but do not reject it. So let it be related to the underline. That's one.
Okay.
Let's jump to the next. The main idea. Come on. If you find any difficult word, always tell me. Come on, let's try.
C.
So you think it's a C? Why not D? Hmm. And why do you think is he correct?
Mm.
طب here مش they tested light sources and learned some details. What support that? Let's find anything. Here he said that for this part, they tested different lighting methods and then they used three different paleolithic light sources. And then he tells you information between the dashes about what are the examples. They determined each likely had a specific purpose because you learned some details about what, how they traveled. Do we have here? Yes. How? Let's know. He said, for example, the team learned this part. The animal flat lamps were less useful than torches while walking because the lamps didn't illuminate the cave floor. يبقى how did they travel there? طب how about C? Do we have any evidence? Look, he said Medina Arcade and her team were reluctant to draw many from their studies. Here, Malak, you didn't catch this expression. Reluctant to means they rejected, they refused to draw many conclusions, but this is not mentioned there. They determined and they learned and they tested and they used. How did they refuse? So all the answers are correct, but only this is part not mentioned. You found it? If
Yeah.
I didn't catch it from this clause, I can catch it from here. Because the difficulty they had replicating light sources. Do they have difficulty here? He mentioned that they found it difficult to catch it, or it's already used these three different realistic light sources, and they learned and they know, so they have no any difficulty in finding something else. So we have 2 points here to tell you the answer could be from this part not mentioned, this part not mentioned. So what is the problem in expressions like reluctant to, for example? So reluctant means is to refuse something you don't like it. Feel it?
Yeah.
So now let's go to number 11. Come on, take your time.
A.
So letter A is the best answer. You did it. And you know the tricks of the test maker. I wanted you to increase, to decreased, increased, substantial. And he said both, not both. And as he did it, alhamdulillah. And you know the exhibition and it changed it. Did it. Now let's jump.
D.
You make it letter D. But why not A? Let's try. This question, as we agreed, it is what is the point exactly? To support what? The researcher's explanation. What is the researcher's explanation? You need to find it and then find the quotation or evidence or idea related to. So where is it? He said here, the excellent explained that trying to that is your point. So we need answer or quotations or any evidence to support this. The quote said, trying to find items in new locations causes shoppers to move through more of the store, exposing them to more products and increasing the likelihood probability that they will buy an item they didn't plan to. So, you know, when if I'm going out, I'm going to study, for example, to buy a laptop. And when I go to the mini shops, I don't find my laptop, so I buy something else. But I didn't plan to buy it. Or I will buy the laptop with something else. But you had not planned. But this means here, they needed to buy some cleaning supplies. But they were not in their regular price. Here, it find it. While I was looking for them in many locations, I saw something interesting notebook and decided to buy it. But I didn't plan to find it. Because this is supported situation as related in the question only. So as we agreed, find the claim, find the portion, find the idea, support the idea. Let's go to D. I said this store is larger than one that is closer to where I live. But the problem's explanation didn't mention about the size of the store. and is it near to you or not? And it carries more products. I came here to buy something that the other store does not have, but this is not mentioned in the explanation. Feel it? You get an idea related to the topic generally, related to the paragraph, but not to the explanation on that. Do you catch it? This means I read only this to understand, but I need information related to the question only. That's why. Feel it?
Yes.
That is means Malak, if you are going to buy something, don't follow this one. Buy one and get one free. Is a trap. Take care. Think first. Do you need it or not? And that's why you should plan before you go to shop. That's right. Now let's go to number 13. Read the question. Which statement about the expressions, okay, if true, it means it could be true or not, would directly support the claim. So find the claim and define something support it, not weaken it. Let's read.
A.
So do you want to make it a sure on a decision? So it is correct, yes. But that is the point. But if we did not give you the underline, you should find the claim. It says they also showcase. Uh, This is good, Mark. Now, Mark, let's have some notes on this text. Do you remember the transition words meanwhile? In the middle of the sentence, we have to come as and the meanwhile show a relationship between this idea. See this is idea here and the sentence of the idea here. Look, this is one. Yes or no? Yes, it is. He said meanwhile, so action was happening at the same time this action happened. You see? Another point, to remember the expressions not only but also for relative conjunctions, not only but also both and here the writer used merely and the merely means only. So it means not only like don't. And here they also. So it's no problem. It's correct. So be careful because sometimes we change only to merely and sometimes we delete but and sometimes we use also. That means the both of them they not only highlight but also they highlight and they showcase. So it has 2 points. Remember here it's not negative. These indications highlighted and showcase, not highlight. So be careful about it. So we did it, alhamdulillah. Let's go for the next.
B.
So you want to make it letter B?
Yes.
Then why not letter C? You think it's B, but why do you believe C is wrong? Number one, you find the conclusion at the end, right? This is part.
Mm.
Longer leave times might not confer, might not prove a greater cognitive benefit than shorter leave times do. So we need anything to see that. So in both the second and the third test, for the second, this one, and third, this one, what happened? Participants who took to 4 days. So 2 to 4 days. So it must be, this is one. See, I'm just following the answer, right?
Yeah.
Year of leave had higher averages. Is it higher? Yes, here higher from these, higher from these. Okay. Attentiveness scores. Then did participants who took 1 to 5. So what is 1 to 5? With this one higher than that one, with this one higher than this one. Oh yes. Now, does this sentence prove the conclusion that when you take longer leave is uh, is low? Yes. Here they took in
Mm.
here, for example, look how they take 5 weeks holiday, but no benefits, more than the 2 to 4 days leave. And that supported that. But the problem here with the negative not and the word confer didn't prove it a great benefits. You wanted something opposite. Let's prove your letter B. In the first test administration, the first one, participants who took 2-4, and this is one, had lower average attentiveness scores than did those who take 1 to 5. So 1 to 5 he has. And those who took no leave, you see, and this is one. Okay, but so what is the problem now? Do you mention? So what is the problem now? So the problem is it for longer or for shorter time period of time? Do we have here in both the second, or it's opposite? So we need to find, but not in both of them. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
So that is a problem. Here is that in the both the second and the third. All right, but here is it in the first. Okay, but here we need to find for two, not only for one. Here, so it could be like letter C is stronger. That's fine. Now let's go to number 15. 15 again, if you want to complete. Yeah, the question of complete a little bit hard, but always find the connection in the sentence itself.
Yeah.
He said here by the fact, if as evidence, by the fact, but we need evidence for something mentioned before. Let's read first.
C.
So you think it is C? Why not? Why not B? Let me help you. It is the sentence itself. Look, energy expense of exploiting full speed. Exploit means to use. So to use the full speed can disfavor such a strategy. And what is the strategy? Is using the optimal strategy for pursuing that the move is to move at maximum speed. This is something not good. So we need something that moving at maximum speed, it's not good. But how they are pursuing a prey or escaping? Logically, they must use maximum speed. But they make a experiment and they found that it's not. That means we need an answer to prove that using maximum speed is not good, or using less than maximum speed is good. So that is the point. Feel it? Let's go to find this one. More laser spaces used on average for this part. So, of their maximum speed while escaping predation than in other percentage of their maximum speed. Okay, but this does not prove that here. You give me information on the table, but what about the question? We need to complete that. But look for this one. Multiple laser spaces move. So multiple, it means many move at an average of less than 90. Less than me, it means not maximum speed. While escaping predations, and this supports that the animals did not use all the maximum speed. طب is that mentioned? Yes, look. Many. More than 90 or not, yes. So that means this is number of lizards only use maximum speed. But look, most of them use less. That is means most of them do not use maximum. Why? Because they expense energy. And if they use maximum, they will feel tired and then being caught by the predators. That's why. Feel it? Here, so
Yeah.
what is the trap here? We give you something on the graph, correct? But it does not support the question. And that is what happened here exactly in the previous question. Something mentioned there, but does not support the conclusion. Feel it?
Yeah.
So now let's go to the next. You can read 16 until I send you a new link.